Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please kindly accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, and all glories to Srila Bhakti Deela Damodara Swami Maharaj, our dear most spiritual master. So we welcome you all for the session 2 of the 6th global online event, the celebrations of Radhastami, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani, the Abode of pure love. And yesterday we had our session 1 of the program, and today the celebration continues. So please stay connected with us till the end of the program. So we'd like to first start by inviting His Grace Vishnu Prabhu, who is a senior disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, and Prabhuji will be offering a garland to Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj. You can just wait a bit until Srila Gurudev joins in. Yeah. And yesterday, dear devotees, we had such a nice celebrations, and we can see that so many devotees attended. And I'm sure that you're waiting for more nectars to come. And it is some kind of preparing our consciousness to welcome our dear most, our divine mother, Srimati Radharani, in our hearts for Radhastami. So our dear most Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj is here. So we welcome Srila Gurudev, and we request Vishnu Prabhu to offer a garland to Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Please can accept our obeisances, Gurudev. Jai. Jai. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vishnu Prabhu, for this very nice garland offering. And now we'll kindly seek the blessings and the permission of our dear most spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj, to start this session. So Srila Gurudev, please give your blessings and permission to start this session today.
Please continue.
Thank you, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much. So, dear devotees, today the whole program will be spoken in English, and we are also offering language interpretation both in Hindi and in Portuguese. And we invite all the devotees now to watch a very nice explanatory video to explain, to see how to access the different channels. So let us watch this video together.
Hare Krishna, queridos devotos, reverências, todas as glórias a Srila Prabhupada. Hoje teremos interpretação simultânea para a língua portuguesa. Se você desejar ouvir em português e estiver no computador, clique no ícone do globo no canto inferior direito da sua tela. Em seguida, selecione o idioma português. Para os usuários de celular, clique no ícone mais, depois no ícone do globo e em seguida escolha o canal de português. Muito obrigada. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। आज हिंदी भाषा में अनुवाद की सुविधा उपलब्ध है। अपने कंप्यूटर पर हिंदी इंटरप्रिटेशन चैनल तक पहुंचने के लिए कृपया अपनी स्क्रीन के निचले दाएं कोने में ग्लोब आइकन पर क्लिक करें। इसके बाद हिंदी चैनल पर क्लिक करें। मोबाइल उपयोगकर्ताओं के लिए अधिक आइकन पर क्लिक करें, फिर भाषा व्याख्या के लिए ग्लोब आइकन पर और हिंदी चैनल का चयन करें। आपको धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for these very clear and precise explanations. And if still things are not clear, please do not hesitate to contact our Ask Your Servant. And if you have any technical difficulties, or if you are facing any technical issues, or if you have questions regarding the whole program, please do not hesitate to contact Ask Your Servant on Zoom chat, and they will be very happy to assist you. Thank you so much. And now let us take a look together at today's schedule, which is here on your screen. So we'll start this session, this very blissful session, by first of all, hearing from very special personality, Rajabasi, His Grace Deena Bandhu Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be talking on the appearance of Srimati Radharani in Ravel, and followed by, then after we have a very wonderful quiz to test your knowledge about Srimati Radharani. And then after that, we have a very beautiful bhajan prepared by the devotees from Ghana. So we humbly request you all to kindly stay connected with all of us till the end of the program. So now, just to prepare our consciousness and to fill our hearts with Srimati Radharani's love, I invite you all to watch this very nice video on Radha Kund Parikrama from the channel of His Holiness Indradumna Swami. So let us watch this very beautiful video together.
Chintamani prakara sadma sukalpa vriksha Laksaviteshu surabhira vipalayanta Lakshmi sahasrashata sambrama shivyamana Samasitam Muna Sundaranga Gandharva Koti Kamani Avishesha Shobha Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Govinda
Jai, that was such a Hare Krishna. Yeah, that was such a mesmerizing and captivating video on Sri Radhakund, and this is actually intensifying our desire to receive the mercy and love of Srimati Radharani. So thank you so much for this very nice video. And now, dear devotees, we have the pleasure and honor to invite our very special personalities, a special guest with us, His Grace Deena Bandhu Prabhuji from Vrindavan. And Prabhuji is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He was born near Los Angeles, California in the United States, and he joined the Krishna consciousness movement in Boulder, Colorado in 1969. He first met Srila Prabhupada in 1970 in Los Angeles, where he got initiated. Later, Prabhuji went to Dallas, Texas, and opened the first temple there. He also served in various temples, including Houston, San Antonio, Los Angeles, and Santa Barbara. In 1972, Prabhuji became the president of Portland Temple until 1978. In 1980, he moved to Colombia in South America and became a regional secretary, serving, preaching, and opening centers in Ecuador and Peru as well. In 1984, Prabhu moved to Vrindavan, and 2 years later, he was appointed president of the Krishna Balaram Mandir for 3 years and 3 months. Ever since then, he has been regularly taking people out on wonderful transcendental parikramas. Around 1988, he was asked to take over the restoration project of Vrindakund by Baba Madhav. Since 2003, Deena Bandhu Prabhu has been maintaining a very beautiful carved stone temple of Srimati Vrindadevi at Vrindakund, continuously making the place more and more beautiful so that people can have a real Vrindavan experience. Among various other significant projects in Vrindavan, Deena Bandhu Prabhu has helped in restoring the Samadhi Mandir of the great saint Srila Sanatana Goswami. He has also been an active supporter of the restoration of the sacred river Yamuna in Vrindavan. So whoever comes across, he humbly invites them to come to Vrindavan and have darshan of all the holy places there. So we are so blessed and fortunate today to have with us Deena Bandhu Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, thank you so much for joining us. We'd like to call upon His Grace Jagannivas Prabhu, and Prabhuji will be offering a garland to Deena Bandhu Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for this very nice garland offering. And Prabhuji, just to mention that when you came to Mauritius, you had the good opportunity to render you some service. So I feel like some connection with you. Thank you so much. And we are very eager to hear the glories of Radharani from you. And Prabhuji, just a small thing also, that at the end of your talk, we will take 1 or 2 questions, if that is okay with you. Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Please kindly share your words with us.
Hare Krishna. Sound is okay?
Yes, sound is okay, Prabhu. I'm sorry for interrupting again. We request all the devotees, if they have questions, they can send on the chat box to ask your servant, and at the end, we'll read them for you. Yes, Prabhu, sound is super. You can continue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So in a couple of days is the most wonderful day that we've all been waiting for. The appearance of our dear Srimati Radharani. And I'm so very thankful to His Holiness Bhakti dear Damodara Swami for inviting me to this program. And I'm happy to be here with all the wonderful devotees all over the world. And this is Vrindavan, so the electricity may go out. My servant will come with a flashlight. The video will go on because my battery is the what do you call it? The computer, but the lights may go out, so don't be surprised. This is Vrindavan. So, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananandjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Tapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Didati Svapadandigam Adadanas Chinandantai Ridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dudisyam Janma Janmani. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatrubhyascha Kripasindhuvaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Aptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. So again, we want to thank His Holiness Bhakti dear Damodara Swami for inviting us to this program to speak about Srimati Radharani. And again, we're very honored to be with all the devotees here. And this is special, it's a great honor for me. It's a very blissful honor for me. Hare Krishna. So we'll sing a little song about Radharani first, written by Srila Rupa Goswami. You probably all know this song. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mohite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mohite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Damodara Bardama Veshe Harini Skuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Damodara Bardama Veshe Harini Skuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Karunam Karumai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Barnita Charite. Karunam Karumai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Barnita Charite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mohite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mohite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada. Srimati Radharani ki Jai. So before we begin with the katha, I'd like to share with you some very interesting thing that I found in Srila Prabhupada's translation of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. Actually, this is in the 10th canto, chapter 5, text number 18. He says, Tata Arabhya Nandasya Braja Sarva Samridhinam Harer Nivasatma Gunai Rama Kridam Abunripa. O Maharaj Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj is eternally the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his transcendental qualities, and is therefore always naturally endowed with the opulence of wealth, all wealth. Yet, beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance there, it became the place for the pastimes of the goddess of fortune. Now listen to what Prabhupada says here in the purport. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lakshmi Sahasrasata Sambhava Sevyamanam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The abode of Krishna is always served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Wherever Krishna goes, the goddess of fortune naturally resides with him. The chief of the goddesses of fortune is Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Krishna's appearance in the land of Raj indicated that the chief of the goddesses of fortune, Srimati Radharani, would appear there very soon. So do you understand what Prabhupada is saying? Everybody thinks that Janmashtami is the main festival. But here Prabhupada says, Janmashtami means that very soon Radharani will appear. This is just the advertisement that Radhastami is coming. Radhastami is our main festival. This is an amazing purport by Srila Prabhupada. So anyway, although I'm totally unqualified and very fallen, somehow the Vaishnavas have asked me to describe the appearance lila of Srimati Radharani. So to understand Radharani's appearance, we have to go back some thousands of years before. There was a beautiful prince named Sucharu, and there was a princess named Kalavati. And both the families, seeing the matching qualities of the prince and princess, they arranged with great pomp and ceremony their wedding together. And after their wedding, most amazing thing happened. They went to the forest and began to perform great penances and austerities, sleeping on dry grass and dry leaves, eating only fruits that monkeys eat. This was most astonishing. Because generally, after our wedding, we're thinking, oh, now no more sleeping on a mat on the ashram floor. Now I get a nice soft bed. No more temple prasadam. Now we're going to get puris and sweet rice, halava, paneer sabji every day. But they went to the forest and began to perform austerities and penances, sleeping on dry grass and eating only fruits that the monkeys would eat. And they performed these austerities for a very great time. Finally, Lord Brahma descended on his swan airplane. And he asked them what the benediction they desired. And they said, oh, Brahmaji, the benediction that we've been desiring is we want to get the consort of Lord Vishnu, Srimati Lakshmiji, as our daughter in order to serve her in them. They were asking for service. So Brahma was most astonished. Whenever somebody does some penance and austerity and they come to ask the benediction, they have a big long list. I want this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And I want 90 days credit for my next austerity, and I want this and this and this and this. But they were asking for service. So Brahma was so pleased. He said, not just Lakshmiji, I will give you the Mahalakshmi, Srimati Radhika, the consort of Brajendranandan Samsundar. She will become your daughter, and you will be able to serve her. So in this way, Sucharu and Kalavati, they return as Vrishabhanu and Kirtita. And again, both sets of parents, seeing the matching qualities of the two, they arranged a wonderful wedding for them. And Vrishabhanu, he was a good friend of Nanda Maharaj. So on the eastern bank of the Jamuna, just near Gokul, in a village called Raval, he established his capital. And he began to stay there, right on the banks of the divine Jamuna. And they were always desiring to have a daughter. Very mysteriously, they had this intense desire. But first they had one son, Sridham. He's the older brother of Srimati Radharani. Then one day, it just happened to be the 8th day of the bright half of the month of Bhadra. Bhadra is the second month of the rainy season. And like every morning, 𝐵𝑟𝑠𝑎 went before Mangalarti, just like all of you, I hope. Before Mangalarti, you go and take your bath. He went to the Jamuna to take his bath to attend the Mangalarti. And on his way to the Jamuna, he saw something was sparkling within the water. As he got closer, he saw there was a golden 1,000-petaled lotus flower sparkling in the water of the Jamuna. As he got even closer, he saw in the whirl of that lotus flower, there was a beautiful golden baby girl lying. But as I said, this was the second month of rainy season. The current was very heavy, and 𝐵𝑟𝑠𝑎 couldn't reach to that lotus flower. But then Brahma descended on his swan airplane, and he plucked that baby girl from the lotus flower and reminded 𝐵𝑟𝑠𝑎 of his previous benediction, and he handed this girl to 𝐵𝑟𝑠𝑎. 𝐵𝑟𝑠𝑎 bowed before Lord Brahma, then ran to the palace. Oh Devi, oh Devi, oh Devi, we got our daughter, we got our daughter has come. Kirtita, she came running from the palace, and she saw this beautiful golden baby girl in 𝐵𝑟𝑠𝑎's arms. And she took her into her own arms and just held her close to her breasts. And she's just feeling, oh, she's so soft like butter and so beautiful golden complexion and beautiful curly hair. And her fingers and toes, so beautiful, so auspicious lines in her hands and feet. Everything was exquisitely beautiful, so common, so soft. But they saw one thing. Her eyes were sealed shut. She was totally blind. Now, to understand this blindness, we're going to have to go all the way up to Golok Dham. One day in Golok Dham, if we can talk about days in eternal time, Krishna Chandra said to Radharani, hey Radhe, on the earth, the Dwapar Yuga is coming to an end. It's time for us to go there and display our wonderful pastimes on the face of the earth. And Radharani said, I don't want to go to that deep, dark, dank material world where no one is doing your service, no one is chanting your name, everyone's engaged in sense gratification and sinful activities, no one's doing your service. There's no Vrindavan, there's no Jamuna, there's no Govardhan. I will not feel happy in such a place. And Krishna Chandra said, hey Radhe, just see, Vrindavan has already gone, Jamuna has already gone, and Giriraj has already gone. And Radharani looked, and on the face of this dark earth, there was this golden land of Braj. And cutting through it like a blue ribbon was this divine river of Jamuna. And standing very tall and proud was this Giriraj. Don't think that this Vrindavan Dham is some part of the material world. Prabhupada explains many times that this Golok Dham and this Gokul Dham are non-different. Don't think that you bought an airline ticket on whichever airlines you come on, and it took a taxi and came to Vrindavan. It's not part of this world. We're only there by the divine mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Just like one time, Prabhupada was walking around the temple and had a wonderful godbrother. He just left his body about a year ago here in Vrindavan, named Vishal. He was a very jolly fellow. And he was standing there going, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai. And Prabhupada stopped and put his cane on the floor and said, so, you like this place? Oh, Prabhupada, it's wonderful. And then Prabhupada, with a flick of his wrist, he said, then take it, it's yours. So this is the power of the pure devotee of the Lord. With just a flick of the wrist, he can give you Vrindavan. So then Radharani said, all right, I will go there, but I don't want to see anything or anyone until I can see your Mukha Chandra, your moon-like face. So Radharani's eyes were sealed shut. But anyway, both the mother and father thought, doesn't matter. She's so beautiful. She's so wonderful. It doesn't matter. Now we got our daughter. Meanwhile, in the forest nearby, Narad Muni had his brand new iPhone loaded up with his astrology program. And he was calculating. And he realized that this is the time and this is the place that Ladini Shakti of Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, she must appear here. Because we're not talking about ordinary Guru. We were just singing this song, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Dayate means beloved. Oh, Radharani, you're the beloved of Krishna. Gokula Tarani Mandala Moite. Tarini means young girls. All the young girls of Gokul, Mandal, all the girls of Gokul, Moite, even they're bewildered by seeing. Even girls are bewildered by seeing the beauty of Srimati Radharani. Now, Prabhupada argues that somebody may say that this song is written by Rupa Goswami. He's a great scholar. He knows so many languages, Bengali, Sanskrit, Persian even, Arabic even. He knows so many things. Why he's writing a song about a young girl? But at the end he says, Sanaka Sanatana Barnite Charite. Just like we know Chaitanya Charita Rita. That even Sanak Sanandan, the four Kumaras, they're glorifying the character of Radharani. And we know that they've been brahmacharis since millions of years, beginning of the universe. And even they're glorifying. So not an ordinary girl, but that own Ladini Shakti of Lord Krishna. So he began to wander hither and thither, trying to find out where Srimati Radharani has appeared. Then he saw the palace of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. He knocked on the door. The doorman opened the door. He saw it was Narad Muni. He immediately ran to Vrishabhanu. He said, Narad Muni is here. Vrishabhanu, the king, he immediately went to the door himself to welcome Narad Muni. Oh, Muniraj, Padariye, please come. Virajiye, please sit. He sat him on his very own throne. The king sat him on his own throne. Then he washed the feet of Narad Muni. He sprinkled the water on his head and everyone's head. And then the king sat at the foot of his own throne. He said, Munivar, any seva for me? Any service? And Narad Muni said, yes. Do you have any issue? Do you have any child? He said, yes, Maharaj, I have one son. Narad Muni said, one son? Ha, Maharaj, I have one son. One son? Ha, Maharaj, I have one son. One son? Ha, Maharaj. All right, bring him. So they brought Sridham before Narad Muni. And he gave him all his blessings. And he told Vrishabhanu and Kirtida, this is a very confidential servant of Sri Krishna. You have to take very good care of him. Then he got up to leave. And as he was leaving, Vrishabhanu saw there was some disappointment on Narad Muni's face. Prabhupada said the face is index of the mind. As he got to the door, so, Are, Tero, wait, Maharaj. Kya? Tune jhoot bola? You told a lie? Are, Maharaj, I have one daughter, but she's blind, so I was feeling shy to show her to you. You have one daughter? And Narad Muni immediately ran. He sat back down on the throne. He said, oh, quickly, bring that one. So then Vrishabhanu and Kirtita brought that Srimati Radharani. Now Narad Muni, he knows who this is. He began diving and splashing in the ocean of transcendental bliss. In fact, he went into such great ecstasy. He was inert for a great long time. When he finally regained his senses, now you're going to see how clever this Narad Muni is. He's a very clever fellow. He said, I know how to cure this blindness. You have to make a feast, and you have to make this and this and this and this. And he gave a list of all complicated preparations that you will not easily find the ingredients around the house. You will have to go to the bazaar. You will have to go to the fields. You will have to go to the market to collect all these ingredients. Then he said, and you invite Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda, and you feed them prasad, and I guarantee this blindness will be cured. Everyone looked at this big long list, and so they all ran hither and thither, thither and hither and thither and hither. Somebody went to the bazaar, somebody went to the fields, somebody went to the markets. See how clever Narad Muni is? Now he's alone. He began to offer very beautiful stutis to Srimati Radharani. And she smiled at him and said, Muniraj, what do you desire? He said, I just want to see your Kishori Roop. Kishori Roop means 13, 14-year-old girl. And suddenly Radharani transformed herself into this beautiful 14-year-old Kishori Roop. All the Astasakis also appeared in their Kishori Roops. Narad Muni now, he was just drowning in the ocean of transcendental bliss. Then he paid his obeisances and he went on his way. Radhika Raman, 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 Radhika Raman. Meanwhile, everyone started the cooking. They sent the messenger to call Nanda and Yasoda. Nanda and Yasoda arrives. Because Krishna, he had appeared 1 year and 15 days before Srimati Radharani. So he was already a tiny child. So they came, Kirtita showed the beautiful daughter that they had. And Nanda Baba and Yasoda, they thought, such a beautiful girl. They said, she's so exquisitely beautiful, so komal, so soft, so beautiful lines in her hands and feet. Everything is so sweet. Even if she's blind, it doesn't matter. So then Mother Yasoda said, Lala down. And he began to crawl hither and thither on his legs and knees, and hands and knees. So then Yasoda and Kirtita, they sat down to do their gossipings. And Nanda Baba and Vrishabhanu, they sat down to do their shooting the breeze. So meanwhile, Krishna was crawling here and there. He saw this beautiful basket with this beautiful black blanket coming out either end. We call Kali Kamri. Someday we'll tell you about this Kali Kamri, black blanket. And he grabbed the edge of that basket and he peered inside. Now you must have seen how Mother Yasoda paints all these beautiful paintings on Krishna's face. with sandalwood and chanda, kesher, saffron, and kapoor, camphor. All these beautiful face drawings were on Krishna's face. That divine fragrance entered into the sesame flower-like nose of Srimati Radharani. Our Goswamis, many times when describing Radharani's beauty, they say that her nose is just as beautiful as a sesame flower. One time on Braj Prikrama, we walked through the sesame field, and I saw the flowers hanging on the plant. And I looked, and sure enough, one of the petals comes down and blip, just turns up a little bit at the end. And then the other two petals come down, blip, just like a nose. It looks just like a nose, so beautiful. So that divine fragrance entered into the beautiful sesame flower-like nose of Srimati Radhika. Now she knows that Krishna Chandra is just in front of her, Amne Samne. You try to understand, they're right in front of each other. Because our Prabodhanand Saraswati, he writes that sometimes Radharani, because her superiors are watching and those who are envious of her are watching, so she can just give a little kataksh, little glance, tiny sidelong glance. Bing, bing. She can't look directly. And Prabodhanand Saraswati says, when that glance hits Lord Krishna, his mukut falls from his head, his flute slips from his hand. He doesn't even notice. That's just from a little sidelong glance. Now Radha and Krishna are face to face. Try to understand. And Radharani opened her beautiful lotus petal eyes and began to stare with so much love into the eyes of Krishna Chandra. So much love was going between those eyes. So much love was going between those eyes. So much love was going between those eyes. It was so thick, you can almost put your finger in and taste it. And they both began to make little children sounds and laugh. And hearing the laughter, the parents' minds were distracted and they saw Radharani's beautiful lotus petal eyes were staring with so much love into the eyes of Sri Krishna. And they were so amazed. This Narad Muni is so intelligent. He cured this blindness of Srimati Radharani. So they had come to take lunch. So lunch means around noontime this happened. So when do we have to fast on Radhastami? Up to the noontime, right? Radharani, she's very merciful and kind. Only half-day fast. But this Krishna Chandra, he's very hard fellow. All the way to the midnight we have to fast. Radharani is very sweet. So this is a very beautiful place called Raval. It was quite dilapidated condition, but gradually over the years, somebody did some nice things during the 500th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya. And then that fellow who has his place, Danuk Ashram next door, he put nice marble all over it. And then later he put marble outside and inside and marble dome and everything. Made a very beautiful place there. And if we go up on the roof, we can see the Jamuna. Jamuna has gone quite far, but she used to flow right below. In fact, there used to be a little pond. It wasn't very nice, but now the government has made a huge kunda there to commemorate that Radharani appeared there in the Jamuna. And if we go on the roof, we see behind the dome, coming up from the marble, there's a very special tree. This tree is called Karil. And if you look closely, you won't see any leaf on it whatsoever. Only twigs and very, very sharp thorns. This we call Karil. This is a very special tree of Braj. In fact, when they're in Dwarka and somebody talks about Braj, then Kansa's mother, Padmavati, she becomes very upset. Why do you want to talk about that old thorn forest? And the poor guy, he just wanted a little butter. Huh? And they pulled his ear, they chased him with sticks, and they tied him up. Huh? Why do you want to talk about that old thorn forest? Huh? And if you're lucky and you come just before Kartik, then you'll see in that plant beautiful reddish orange flowers, just like a fountain coming, because its branches are going this way and that way and everywhere. And the beautiful fountain of flowers comes out. Looks like a burning bush. And then afterwards, little green berry comes. If you ever go to Brishbazi's house and they serve you some achar that looks like giant peas, it's not peas, because the fruit is called tenti. And that's one of their favorite things is tenti achar. Sometimes we're lucky on Braj Frickin, we get tenti achar. So the Brishbas, they have a saying about this tree, because they claim that the queens of Dwarka came here, and they went back and they told Krishna, Bol antahela vachanantagari, kri lakata pani kubakari, deki sham marupuri tihari. Bol antahela. All the talk is hela. It's like if you come, you'll see, oh, Deena Bandhu, Aja, come here. No respect. Hela means without respect. Bolanta hela vachananta gali. Actual word is gali, but the Brishbasis mix their R's and L's. So gali is that type of word that your mother would wash your mouth out with soap. You're lucky you don't know Hindi, because if you heard what the Brishbasis said to each other in love, you will be shocked. You'll turn red. Other parts of India, those words will start a fight. But the Brishbasis, out of love, they talk like this. Kri lakata. Everywhere is this thorn tree. Pani kubakari. And all the pani, all the water is salty. Deki sham marupuri. Oh, Sham Sundar, we have seen your marupuri. And the pujari, he told me that 550 years ago, his ancestors, they found this deity of Radha and Krishna, very small deity, beautiful. Ladli Lal, they call him. Ladli means little girl. And of course, Lal means little boy. They were underneath this karil tree. And when the contractor came, it was blowing right behind the temple. When the contractor came to put the marble, because it has very sharp thorns, like I said, so he just chopped it. Everyone was so upset. And he put the marble. And mysteriously, the tree grew up behind that marble, all the way up the wall, and popped out right at the dome. So right on the dome, you see this beautiful karil bush. In Bhakti Ratnakar, it describes how Mahaprabhu also came to this place. Because when he came to Braj, he went on Prikama, Madhuvan, Talavan, Kabudvan, Ukulavan, all the 12 forests. When he came to Raval, Nahari Sarkar, who wrote Bhakti Ratnakar, he says words cannot describe the ecstasy that Mahaprabhu felt in this place of Raval. He stayed there for a couple of days, relishing the ecstasy of this place. And then he ended his Prikama by returning across the Jamuna to Mathura. So this is a very, very special place. It's been fixed up very nicely. And about maybe 10, 11 years ago, beside the maid altar on the right side, somebody made another altar. And you will find on that altar the only crawling deity of Radharani in the universe. You see a beautiful deity of Radharani on her hands and knees, crawling with her beautiful lotus petal eyes. That's the only place in the whole universe that I know there's a crawling deity of Radharani. So we invite you all to come here and visit all these places. We'll be glad to show you around. Thank you so much for paying so nice attention. And of course, we're leaving a few minutes here if there's any questions or any comments, then you're welcome. I will try to respond to your queries. Srimati Radharani ki jai. Jai Jai Sri Radhe Sham.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Your words have
thank you.
indeed transported us to the divine abode of Srimati Radharani. These pastimes were so deep, Prabhu, and kind of never heard. So thank you so much. So as we said earlier, we'll be taking some few questions. And we have one question here, Prabhu. I will read it for you. So just give me 1 minute. So there's one question, Prabhu. What happens if someone takes Radharani's name or remembers her while taking their last breath? Do they get the service of Radharani?
Must be. If somebody can remember Radharani's name at the time of death, it's most, because her name is so auspicious. As soon as somebody says Ra, then Krishna's ears go up. And when they finish with Hey, then Krishna comes running. Radharani's name is so auspicious that even Krishna comes running when he hears Radharani's name. Of course, we should not take it very cheaply. It's like we see everybody running around Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. But actually, Radharani's name is so sacred that even, because they say Radharani's name is not in Srimad Bhagavatam, but our acharyas explain that 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐴 Swami, if he said Radha's name, we're saying all day long and nothing's happening. But if he said Radha's name, he would have gone into complete ecstasy. And we know our Maharaj Brikshit, he only has 7 days. And he would have just gone into ecstasy for days with it and stopped reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. So Radha's name is so auspicious. Nobody can imagine how auspicious.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this very beautiful answer. We have a second question. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Is it fine to call Srimati Radharani only Radha? Is it offensive? Or should we call her name Sri Radha?
There's no real hard and fast rule, but it's always nicer to say Srimati Radharani or Sri Radha. Srimati or Sri gives some more respect. Like I said, we shouldn't take it cheaply. Even 𝐶ukadeva Goswami was afraid to take this name. So it's better if we say Sri Radha, Srimati Radharani.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And we have a last question here. Why is Radharani not mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam?
Hardly anything is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is just the basic philosophy. And I just described why Radharani is not there. It's in a secret form. When it describes that Krishna went into the forest, aradidatu nunam, that somebody has worshipped him so especially, because the word Radha comes from the word aradhana, to worship. So secretly he mentioned Radharani's name. Since COVID, my brain is funny, I forget some verses. Anyway, it's there in Srimad Bhagavatam. But this is a reason that our acharyas explained it's not there. It's in a secret form.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this very clear answer. Prabhuji, we have a last question in the chat box. When you
Okay.
just send it to me. Yes. Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question as to how do astrologers do calculations of Sri Radharani chart? As usually,
How do astrologers what?
How do astrologers do calculation of Sri Radharani chart?
Sri Radharani's what?
Sri Radharani chart, as usually it is required exact birth of time?
I really don't know. I'm not an astrologer, so I've never paid much attention to that. You'd have to ask my dear godbrother, Petit Pavan, or some other devotee that you know is an astrologer. We just know that it was 8th day of the month of Bhadra. That's about it.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Prabhuji, do we have time for a last question?
Yeah, of course.
Last question.
I'm
Yes.
here to serve you, so I'm ready to
Thank you
try
so
and
much.
answer
Prabhu.
all your questions.
Thank you so much. Yes, we have a last question. So how can we cultivate genuine love for Srimati Radharani?
By serving her most dear devotee. Because there's no one, Radharani is the compassionate side of Krishna. Just like we know, we always, most of us, we have very, very fond, soft memories of our mothers. But we're a little bit afraid of our father. He was very stern. Our mother was very soft and kind to us. The father was a little bit stern and strict. So when we had something to ask to our father, we would always go to our mother and say, can you ask Pita about this? Can I get this? Can I get this? Because we know the Matajis are very expert to get things from the Pitajis. So and she's unlimitedly merciful. And we see Prabhupada's mercy is unparalleled. Just like, just now I can't remember which canto, but it talks about Sati, and she criticizes her own father. That you see a tiny bad quality in an ocean of good qualities, and you magnify that bad quality. But my husband, Lord Shiva, my Patidev, Lord Shiva, he finds a tiny good quality in an ocean of bad qualities, and he magnifies it. That was Srila Prabhupada. We were oceans of bad qualities. In fact, there's one fellow, maybe you've heard, Chitragupta. He's the secretary of Yamaraj. He keeps track of all the sinful activities of the living entities. We were such people that we crashed Chitragupta's hard drive. But in all those bad qualities, we were into drugs and so many free sex and all these things. But somewhere there was this little tiny spark that we wanted to understand what life is all about. What is God? What is this universe all about? What's the meaning of life? Despite all of our bad qualities, we had this one little tiny spark, and Prabhupada took that little spark and fanned it, and he made it very large. And he took these people, and with these type of people, he spread Krishna consciousness all over the whole world. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that person who preaches the message of Krishna all over the world, he is the most dear to me, nor is there anyone will there ever been more dear. So if you want to get Radharani's pleasure, somehow or other you please her most dear devotee, Srila Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada is the mercy incarnation of Srimati Radharani. Raghunath Das Goswami says, Karunaya Vidravad Deha. Karunaya means because of compassion. Karuna, we know Karuna, so Karunaya, by passion. Vidravad means to melt. And Deha, we know, Deha means body. Ordinary living entities, their hearts melt with compassion. But Radharani's whole body melts with compassion. And Prabhupada has taken those melted drops of compassion and put them inside his books. And the devotees are going and sprinkling this all over the conditioned souls rotting in this material world. So if you want to please Radharani, you spread these compassionate drops of Srila Prabhupada's books on everyone.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. We don't have enough words to thank you. for these blissful nectars and precious gems that you have shared with us. And Prabhuji, your Brajabasi, our only prayer to you, Prabhu, is please pray for us, please bless us, all of us, so that we can also get residence in the Dham, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And we aspire to have your loving association in our future online programs also.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Definitely. Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma
Srimati Radharani ki jai. 𝐄𝐻𝐿𝐴 Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Bhakti Deer Damodar Goswami ki jai.
His Grace Deena Bandhu Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for a wonderful nectar. I remember when I was doing Bhakti Sastri 2003. That's my first time of seeing His Grace Deena Bandhu. And whenever it's announced there's a parikrama, I will jump in and follow him. But I was very conscious of coming back to my Bhakti Sastri. So I will go and tell Prabhu, please, can you make sure we turn back on time? So I will go back to the Sastri. He will not say anything, we'll just keep quiet. I was very worried to get back on time. I didn't know that Prabhu had already arranged everything very nicely. He take prasadam, which will come back on time and meet everything right on time. After 2 times, and I don't disturb me again. I will keep quiet. Follow him. So he's a devotee that we are very comfortable with because of the gentle and devotional nature. We are proud to have an uncle like
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaj, for inviting us.
Krishna. So we're very happy to hear Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much,
Hare
Rajadev. And thank you once again, His Grace Deena Bandhu Prabhuji. And we pray to see you soon in our future online events. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And now, yes, Hare Krishna. And now, dear devotees, as you can see, the celebrations is growing more and more. And now we have a very nice activity to warm you up, to cheer you up. And the next item that is coming up is a quiz. So are you all ready for the quiz time? So let me explain a bit how it is going to be. So there are 4 questions in all. Okay. And I will read the questions for you. Along with the options. And just after I read the question, one poll will appear with a timer. And remember, you have to be very fast to choose the correct option and then click submit. Then only your answer will be taken. So if you are ready, so we can start with question 1. So here it is on your screen. Question 1. Where did King Vrishabhanu first find Srimati Radharani? Option A, on a divine golden basket. Option B, on a divine golden boat. Option C, on a divine golden lotus. And option D, on a divine golden leaf. So please choose the correct answer. And you can see that the poll has started and the timer is on. And the devotees are answering very enthusiastically, and many of them are giving right answers. And yes, and the poll has ended. And the correct answer to this question 1 is option C, on a divine golden lotus. So congratulations to all of you who have given the good answer. And now let us move to question 2. So question 2 is as follows. Who is the elder brother of Srimati Radharani? Option A, Sudama. Option B, Sridama. Option C, Madhumangala. And option D, Abhimanyu. So please choose the correct answer. And the poll has started and devotees have started answering. And many devotees are giving right answers. And you can see that the poll has ended. And the correct answer is option B, Sridham. So congratulations to all of you who have got the correct answer. Now let us move to question 3. Question 3 as follows. Who was the first person Srimati Radharani saw after her birth? So I think if you have listened to Prabhuji, has mentioned it in his class. So option A, Mother Kirtida. Option B, Father Vishabhanu. Option C, Brother Sridham. And option D, Sri Krishna. So the poll has started. Yes, and many devotees are answering. 90% of devotees are giving good answers. Yes, and the poll has ended. And the correct answer to this question is option D, Sri Krishna. That was a rather very easy question. Now we have a last question, question 4, which is as follows. Who is the little sister of Srimati Radharani? Option A, Sri Rupa Manjari. Option B, Sri Ananga Manjari. Option C, Sri Tulasi Manjari. And option D, Sri Rasa Manjari. And the poll has started and devotees are answering. And many devotees are giving good answers. And yes, and you can see that the poll has ended. And the correct answer to question 4 is option B, Sri Ananga Manjari. Haribol. So congratulations to all of you who have given the right answer. And the top 3 winners will be announced at the end of this session. So now, dear devotees, let me invite you all to watch a very sweet and beautiful bhajan entitled Krishna Prema Mai Radha. And this bhajan has been produced by the devotees from the Ghana Yatra. So let us watch this very nice video.
Gati Mama. Krishna ke hestita Radha. Krishna ke hestita Radha. Radha ke hestita Hari. Radha ke hestita Hari. Jeevanai Radha Nityam. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Krishna Chita Stita Radha. Krishna Chita Stita Radha. Radha Chita Stita Hari. Radha Chita Stita Hari. Jeevanai Radha Nityam. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Neelambara Dhara Radha. Neelambara Dhara Radha. Peetambara Dharo Hari. Peetambara Dharo Hari. Jeevanai Radha Nityam. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Vrindavaneshwari Radha. Vrindavaneshwari Radha. Krishna Vrindavaneshwara. Krishna Vrindavaneshwara. Jeevanai Radha Nityam. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Radha Krishna Gati Mama. Radha Krishna Gati Mama.
Haribo, Jai. That was such a very sweet and beautiful video by the Ghana Yatra devotees. And we can see that the devotees have really put in sincere effort to realize this very nice video. And we'd like to thank the devotees, Rupa Devidasi, Chaitanya Bhagadas, Shweti Shweta, Chutaketu Putra Das, Ananda Sagar Das, Bhuvanapati Das, Bhakta Stephen Hello, Bhakta Dote, Bhakta Gaura, Gayatri Devidasi, Bhakti Indiana, and the Akya Yatra children, and as well Chungi Music, for realizing this very beautiful video. So thank you so much. And now, dear devotees, it's not over yet. The celebration continues. We would like now to invite our dear most spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj, to lead us with the closing prayers. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful Srimati Radharani is the queen and the origin of the Rasa dance. She is a giver of pleasure to Krishna, who is a super soul in the heart of all. She is the lover of Krishna and is always situated upon the chest of the Lord. This is from Paratana Padati Stavamala 1 by Sarupa Goswami. Srimati Radharani, the position is very, very high and very deep. She is situated in the heart of Krishna, not only in the heart of Krishna. She is the Supreme Mother of all living entities, and it's really very compassionate, extremely compassionate. We can address somebody or some people mothers today because of our wonderful qualities of being the Supreme Mother for all living entities. When Krishna said, and Bhagavad Gita, Jat Gatwana Devati Tat Dam Parama, Krishna is referring to Srimati Radharani, the Supreme Mother, Parama, meaning that if we go back to the spiritual world, Yat Gatwana Devati, he will not come back again to the material world, because Srimati Radharani is there to take care and maintain all of us. Then he can ask, what about our coming from there here? What is the proof that if you go there, it will not come back? And that question can come to the mind. Yes, she is the Supreme Mother, and if you go there, you will not come back again here, because we have had a lot of experience. Nobody likes to remember a bad dream. So nobody would like to remember the nightmare of being in the material world. And her affection also will not allow us to come here. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if you drink the Surabhi cow milk, will not be thirsty again for life, will not be hungry again for life. And we will regain our eternal situation with Krishna, and therefore our maintenance position will take care of us. I will not come again to this matter. And without her mercy, we cannot get Krishna. That is the eternal position. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, so much for these very deep and sweet and concluding words. We're very grateful to you, Srila Gurudev. And now, dear devotees, the time to announce the winners for the quiz. So the winners are as follows, which is here on the screen. So for question 1, we have Vardhana, who is the winner. So big Haribol to Vardhana. She was the one to answer the question fastest. For question 2, we have Surbhi Yadav. So big Haribol to you, Surbhi Yadav. And for question 3, we have Ishani Mataji. So big Haribol to you, Mataji. You're the fastest to answer this question. And question 4, the winner, we have Purnima Mataji. So big Haribol to all our winners, and may you all get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Haribol. And now, last but not the least, dear devotees, we have reached the end of our program, and now let us take a look at tomorrow's schedule together to have an idea of the program for tomorrow. So we are going to start tomorrow, session 3, by a very nice talk by His Grace Baladev Prabhu on how to serve and please Srimati Radharani, followed by a nice quiz like today. And then after that, we have a bhajan by the Mauritius Yatra. And now we'd like to thank you all, dear devotees, for so enthusiastically taking part. Without you, this festival is nothing. So we are looking forward to have you again with the same enthusiasm tomorrow, same time, for session 3. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.